Right, no, he said lust as an example of kind of love. Right. So people say love or lust, is it the same? It's complicated. I don't know. But I think, yeah.
I played a lot of my club.
I would really love to have those things.
Credit card. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, because it makes your dreams come true. That's interesting, and it's always with you. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, credit card. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's unconditional. Unconditional, right? So condition. You have to do this and this and this. So unconditional is just the opposite. Oh, so you guys, do you know what is the meaning of unconditional love? Right, so the important thing is it's like from a parent or from God or something like that. Even if you do stupid things, drinking too much, smoking, doing drugs, even you hurt yourself, still somebody will love you, even if you do bad things. That's the most important thing. So usually not a wife or girlfriend or boyfriend. Usually it's somebody above you, like a parent, grandparent, something like that. Right, unconditional.
During high school, teachers sometimes told us for unfair reasons.
Yeah, she was joking.
Who's 24? Oh, I see. Okay, right. So yeah, like you said, maybe naive. Why do you think he's 24? Does it say?
No, it doesn't.
No, okay. Just a feeling?
His parents look too old for a 7-year-old.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they look like grandparents, so that could make sense. So if they're 50, 55, they wouldn't have a 7-year-old. Yeah, that's interesting. I can see that.
Because there will be ants and other bugs coming.
Okay, so this group, I heard they were talking about the Scissor Dream. The Scissor Dream, I heard of this many times. You're sitting there and you can see your body and it's a little bit weird. However, according to my experience, only in Korea is there a Scissor Dream. My students tell me, do you know this dream? And all the students, yeah, I know that one. I say, what are you talking about? I never had this dream. I talked to students from other countries, Chinese, German, French. They'd never had this dream either. So a couple things that are unique in Korea, the Scissor Dream, I never heard of it, and fan death. Do you guys know about fan death? In the summer, it's very hot. At night, you turn on the fan, and if you close the door, the air will move around and it will kill you. However, I never heard about this in any other country. In fact, it doesn't make sense. The air is moving. So, how can that kill you? Moving air. Air is moving all the time. So another one, I don't understand fan death. Physically, I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. This one, I understand. I just never heard of it, only from my students. So I guess it's possible. But anyway.
The fan death is in the case where you turn on a fan,
right,
and it's like directly on your face.
Oh, okay,
You suffocate from the air that is pushed towards you. If the fan is moving, like right to left, left to right,
so,
it's okay, but
so in theory, the jet of air is moving above. That creates a negative pressure, sucking the air out this way.
No, there is. And there is another situation.
Okay.
If you close the door and
Yes.
fan is
Moving.
moving,
Rotating, right,
moving, and temperature is gonna be low,
Okay.
and you will be dead.
Because of a low temperature in the summer. Okay. So maybe physically it's possible, but I would call this one. Maybe it's theoretically possible. I would just say it's maybe a little bit fishy, a little bit suspicious. Maybe it really happened, but I never heard about it anywhere else. But anyway, shall we take a little break? Yeah, let's take a short break, and we'll be back, and we'll finish the class pretty quickly. So let's take 5 minutes or so until 12 o'clock. How is a credit card a magic pebble? So it's a great answer, actually. It's very good. But how? Why would you say that?
Because you can possess whatever you want.
Right, exactly. Your credit card lets you have whatever you want. It makes your dreams come true. That's good. Anything else?
But it's dangerous.
It's dangerous, yeah. It has the same things. It can make all your dreams come true, but it's dangerous at the same time. When you buy all this stuff, you're very happy, but at the end of the month, when you get the statement, oh my God, what did I do? So I thought that's perfect. Magic pebble, actually. Did other people have ideas about what a magic pebble might be? Prayer? Like praying? Oh, interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So I didn't think, prayer. So praying, prayer. How is prayer like a magic pebble? I get it. Now I got it. Anybody? Yeah, praying to God before you sleep or in church or in the temple. How is this like a magic pebble? For some people, there we go. Okay, because if you believe and if you pray, God will make your dreams come true. If you're a believer, if you don't believe this, maybe not. So it depends on your faith, your belief. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, that's good. So we got the idea. Any other questions or comments about the magic pebble? Probably not. So talking about the vocabulary, cow and bull, what's the difference between a cow and a bull?
Cow makes milk.
Cow makes milk, And cows, right, okay.
And bull gives me delicious meat.
Kind of, okay. So the main difference is the cow is female, bull is male. That's right. So the gender is the big difference. And then if I say butt heads or headbutt, if I take another person and I hit them like this on the head, that's butting heads. Hitting heads together is butting heads. So to butt heads with somebody. Also argue or to fight. So butt heads. Then there's the word butt head. So to butt heads is a verb, but butt head, one word, is a noun. So what's a butt head? Don't be a butt head. If I translate that directly from Korean, that's 엉덩이, 머리, butt head. So what does it mean, butt head? Never heard that expression? Somebody is stupid, an idiot, a moron, a butt head. So don't be a butt head. And then the next word, bumblebee. Bumblebee is just a bee. The bumble part is not really important, doesn't mean much. And then a bullfight, you know that in Spain, maybe Mexico, Latin countries, there's a guy who fights the bull. He kills the bull at the end. He has his red cape. That's a bullfight. And there's 3 people in a bullfight. The first one is, I think it's banderillero. These people, they kind of poke the bull and make it angry, so it's ready to fight. And then picadore, also they poke the bull, they bother the bull to make it angry. Finally, the matador, this is the guy with the red cape who actually fights the bull. He stabs the bull and kills it, so that's a matador. So let's see, so if we just in your group look at the first question, it says look at the pictures, try to explain the story through just the pictures. So I'll give you about 1 or 2 minutes. You can look at the pictures and try to guess what happens in the story. Read the story very quickly. so that we can talk about our final exam, which is next week. So I'll just read and you guys can listen from page 277, the story of Ferdinand. Okay, so on 277, so just I'll read, you guys can listen. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together, but not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around, snorting and butting, leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, so he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice, cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that is just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Wow! Ah, did it hurt! Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around, puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. What a day it was! Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros, with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was mad. So mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He's very happy. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I think these questions we don't need to do together. It's very simple. It's a very easy story. So instead, we'll talk about our final exam, which should be next week. And the information here is the same that's going to be on the screen in a minute. So we have, the big deal is, the exam is next week, Monday. Like last time, we'll meet in here and probably change classrooms for the exam. We'll shoot for 11 to 12:20. I'll try to make it a little bit short so you don't have to take the whole time. The big question is, shall we have an open book exam or a regular exam? Open book exam, you can bring your book. If there's a question, you simply open it, and in theory, you can find the answer very quickly and very easy. However, traditionally, open book exams are actually maybe a little bit more difficult than regular exams. So the pros and the cons. With an open book exam, you can just look, you can find the answer, but that way I could make a more difficult exam. If it's not open book, though, you have to try to remember more things. It's a little bit harder. So think about it for a minute, about the open book. What did I say? In class, we have these papers and questions we did. What I'll do, like last time, I'll send the question, the study guide, to the head of each group. They can send it to the rest of you. So by today or tomorrow, you'll have a list of the questions. They will help you to study, and we'll do these stories. So a couple stories from the book we did not read. We didn't do The Precious Pearl, not on the test, don't worry about it. And I think maybe there's one more, Petunia, we didn't do it, don't worry about it, not on the exam. So do you have any questions about our exam next week? The Chocolate War? Let me see, I think I have the questions. Okay, what? Can I pause this? No. Fine. Okay, so this is the last set of questions I have from the Chocolate War, which is, I think, chapters 3 and 4. And these are the questions. So we watched the movie until the end, and we read, I think, chapters 3 and 4 was the last we read. So don't worry about the movie, just worry about what we read in class, chapters 3 and 4.
So you mean this chapter 3 and 4 is the dictation of the exam?
From the Chocolate War, that's right. So just only the 2 chapters from the Chocolate War, nothing else from the beginning.
Read this chapter 3 and 4.
Yeah, just the 2 chapters, right. Mm-hmm. Good question. Anything else? And like we said, repatriated and the other stories from the beginning, not on the exam, only from the midterm until the end. Okay, good. So any other questions about the final exam?
Is the test formation same?
Yeah, the format will be the same. Well, it depends if it's open book or not. That will change the format of the test, but I'm not going to give you choose A, B, C, D, some short answer, some essay, things like that, more writing based, then just choose the right answer. Okay, good. Other questions? Yeah. So talk this over with your group for a minute. If you all have the same opinion, it's easier to get your way. So open book or closed book, we'll vote in a minute or two. So talk it over, and then we'll see. No, there's no multiple choice. It'll be either way. It'll be some writing, right?
근데 어차피 either way 어차피 다 두개 다
So if I give you an open book test, I'm not going to ask you how many little ducklings there were. The answer is right there. I wouldn't ask you something that easy. What color? Well, you can find the answer. For the open book, you'd have to maybe think a little bit deeper. You can use it as a reference, but I don't want you to just, okay, here's the answer. Pfft, would I do that? No, I don't think so. So think about it. So let's see about the open book. So who would like to have an open book test? Open book. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. Okay, and who would like to have the traditional closed book test? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not even close, okay. 11 to 5. A lot of people did not vote, so we'll have a closed book exam. Let me write that down. Okay, so that's good. And so this is the kind of stuff I'll send you here. Okay, so we'll make that like this one. That's a ch book, okay. Closed book, okay, so that's officially a closed book. So are there any other questions about the exam? No? The format should be similar to the midterm exam. Kind of know the basic characters, what happens in each story, not so much the details. And I'll ask you questions like this one, like what is your magic pebble? So think about your own life and how does it relate to the story. So a little bit more thinking based. So let me check the attendance one more time. Okay, so the man Woo-kyung, no Woo-kyung. Okay, and Changmin, no Junyoung. Harim was not here, and I think that's it. So what we'll do is, if you have any questions or you want to get the questions here right now, you can do that. If not, yes. Your group members changed from the original. Oh, I see. Okay. So. Let's see, so who is that person? Oh, you didn't choose. Okay, so why don't we do it this way? Let me get yours. Okay, so that's fine. If anybody else has questions, you can ask me now. If you have no questions, yikes, then we can go.